Another week, another catastrophe. 8 needless deaths. Gone far too soon. We know this cycle. Buildings collapse, lives are lost, government authorities talk tough. Buildings are demolished for a short time only. Politicians dust off old scripts. They rush to the scene to assess the damage, offer assistance, praise courage of the affected, promise to learn lessons, and then go on with their scheduled activities of the day. It's just another day at the office. Key performance indicators or KPIs met. This is what Citizen TV recently termed as disaster celebrities, a term that rubbed those named the wrong way. And they were quick to respond. Esther Pasaris, Nairobi County Women Representative, tweeted this, and I quote, she said, "Really? I was there. I assessed the situation. I organized for water, soft drinks, bread and milk. I appreciated the Boda Boda and youth of Ngando for their heroic efforts before the disaster teams arrived. I then went about my scheduled duties ending at KNH at 7 p.m. End of quote. And so another Twitter user, Nanda Nyonge, then challenged her, saying it would be more important to prevent these disasters from happening in the first place, rather than using them to showcase her good Samaritan traits. To which she replied, and I quote, "No one can stop disasters from happening. No one can stop accidents from happening. What we can do is learn from mistakes and work towards averting both disasters and accidents." End of tweet. With all due respect, madam, this was no accident. A building that did not pass the safety requirements collapsed. It was not an accident. Some people dropped the ball. Someone or some people should be held responsible for this. And pray tell, which lessons are these you want us to learn exactly? How many years shall we take to learn these lessons? How many lives will it cost us while we, quote, learn from our mistakes? Didn't we learn already from previous buildings collapsing in this city? In fact, an audit commissioned by President Kenyatta in 2015 found that only 42% of the buildings in Nairobi were fit for habitation. So yes, madam, we can stop these accidents, perhaps the correct term is incidents, from happening. If we did not learn from the 2016 collapse in Huruma that killed over 50 lives and the many others that followed, then we never will. Instead, we have leaders who can and should hold authorities to account, influence policy, pass legislation, ensure implementation, instead passing the buck to some faceless individual called accidents. They also blame the victims for inhabiting unsafe buildings. They supply food and drinks, and they promise to learn lessons. Surely if this were an exam, the leaders would score an epic fail. And just in case you were thinking that this is an isolated incident, let me take you back to June 2018. Yet another building in Huruma collapsed. 2 people died. Scores others were injured. The country at the time was moved by the story of a courageous young boy who risked his life to save that of his brothers. The Nairobi County Women Rep was there too. And she tweeted this: "I met little Wayne this afternoon in Huruma when I went to assess the damage and offer assistance to the affected families. Because Wayne saved his baby brother as the building collapsed, I asked him what he wanted for his bravery, and he said, a bike. My bright star of the tragedy," she tweeted. Sound familiar? Same script, different cast. Except this is no movie. This is real life. And Kenyans are dying while politicians play on the stage to a non-existent audience. Fellow citizens, we need no more audits, no more studies, no more tough talk. We do not elect leaders to praise us for our heroism, to mourn with us. We can do that for ourselves. We do not elect them to bring us soft drinks and food in times of trouble. We do not elect them to come pray with us. After all, the Bible says God hears the prayers where 2 or 3 are gathered. Nowhere does it give the requirement for a politician to be present. We elect them and pay them to ensure laws and regulations are followed to prevent these needless deaths from ever happening in the first place. And that is my take tonight.